I know. I'm worried before the release has even come. What the heck is that about? Don't worry. It's going to be one of those complaints where I know I might be irrational for complaining about it. But I just wanted to voice my feelings, guys, my feelings. And that's about the Macra terror. The Macra terror, it's been, of course, announced, and we all know at this point, or a lot of us know at this point. My bad if you do not know. I am sorry if you do not know, and I made a blind assumption. That the Macra terror is now being fully animated and will be released. Probably in Australia and Britain a lot sooner than here in America. In America, the Macra terror won't be released until November. Is it the same with you guys over the pond? Or far over the pond in Australia? Is that you guys too? Because if it is, I forgot. My cat's in the background again, sorry. But if that's you guys have like a lot sooner release date, good for you. Because we won't see it here in America till November. I'm used to that. Oh, the good old American treatment. When it comes to the DVD releases of Doctor Who. Okay, when it comes to the Macra Terror, I was so excited to hear that it was being reanimated. I was so excited. And then I thought about it. And I realized that it was being reanimated by the same people who did Power of the Daleks and Shada. Okay. Now, here's my main concern, or my chief fear. I like the story Macra Terror. I can't wait till all of Patrick Troughton's lost episodes are reanimated. And nice to see some more William Hartnell stories reanimated. Because we got the reanimation of, the Reign of Terror and all that. Will be nice, really nice to see, a lot of his stories be completely reanimated that are missing, but definitely with the Second Doctor. I absolutely love the Second Doctor's era. He had such a good run of stories that BBC chose not to save. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Depression drink. I always drink root beer when I'm feeling a little down in the dumps. Alright, so when it comes to the concept of Macra Terror, the reanimation, that's what my main concern is when it comes to this release. How the animation is going to look. Because when it comes to the animation of Doctor Who live action being reanimated from the missing episodes, the quality of the reanimation varies. Or the animation varies. From excellent to pretty good to okay to god freaking awful. And here's the thing. You would think it would go from a progression of terrible awful to okay to pretty good, then excellent. No, that's not what happens with the BBC when it comes to the animations. They have had some pretty goods, awesomes, bad, or semi-okay down to freaking awful. They go in complete different directions, inverse proportions to the progression of things. What I mean by that is the release of Power of the Daleks itself. When Power of the Daleks was released, it's been animated. We have it now, finally. This should have been the magnum opus of animation for the missing episodes. This should have been some of the best animation put into this. Power of the Daleks, the Second Doctor's very first story. At this point, the moon base has been animated. The invasion has been animated. The Reign of Terror has been animated. God knows I'm forgetting other ones that were animated as well, but let's see, who else were I forgetting? Oh yeah, the Ice Warriors have been animated as well. We have some animated stories already, which means that BBC should already have animators who they know for a fact will nail how the actors look, how to portray them, organic movement, good silhouettes, and also landscape as well as perspective, making sure people are in the forefront as opposed to the background, making sure things are not on the same plane, etc., and so forth, and making things feel organic. And then Power of the Daleks came out. And Power of the Daleks has some of maybe the worst animation BBC has ever gotten done for an episode. How does that make any sense? And if you guys like the animation for Power of the Daleks, fine, cool with you, that's your thing. But for me, the animation for Power of the Daleks, it did not get any of the nuance of any of the characters, the actors. Literally, to when you're watching Power of the Daleks, the only thing that you could possibly get emotion contributed from is the actors' voices, their speaking, their dialogue, and the emotion that the actors put into it. Because the animators put no emotion, practically no emotion, into their faces, no emotion or intensity or passion into their eyes, and then did not nail their bodies at all. Like, did not look at their body and say, okay, how does the Patrick Troughton's body really look? Ben, Polly, they're very square-like. Everything's very square-like in it comes to the body, the way that they are designed. No nuance was taken into the actors' looks and appearance or expressions. And then on top of that clunky and unnatural movement of the actor, did not nail Patrick Troughton's performance at all. Literally, Power of the Daleks, the animators, it's like they never even watched Patrick Troughton before. Literally, when it came to that story, never seemed to have watched him, never knew what he was really like. Same with all the other actors. Polly, Ben, just never captured any natural movement of any of the characters. Everyone just moved like this. No natural organic movement. Nothing felt it just looked so stilted, stunted, and like very basic, like doing animation at its very fundamental level without having any real technique to it. And it's like, BBC, you've had great animators before. You've had animators who nailed how Patrick Troughton looks. And another thing that the animation for Power of the Daleks does not do very well, you didn't always know what was going on. Where something was shot at something but you didn't know it was because it was angled in a weird way, or all the characters were on the same plane. So you're like, how could you not see that person? And it's implied that you don't see that person, but they're on the same plane with you. They should be in the background, more hidden. There's nothing, again, no idea of perspective, foreground, background. Have a character close to the camera while other characters are further from the camera. Do these things. It adds a lot of dimension to the storytelling. Let people move the way people naturally move. Power of the Daleks, it was like, who animated this? No offense, animators. But then we come along, and the same animators who did Power of the Daleks, like, I'm so amazed they even, I guess BBC, it's like, to me, it's like, I'm wondering if BBC even cared when it came to after Power of the Daleks. If they were like, you know what? We know people are going to buy this no matter what the animation looks like. So, boom, there we go. Cheapest animation. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong about that in the comment section. But then we get Shada. And I bought Shada not knowing it was the same animators who animated Power of the Daleks. And it was a great deal better. The color was better. The color was richer. And the animators realized it's kind of important to have some activity in going on in a shot, so that it feels like there's some, again, energy being in there, because it was very dead. Their previous, again, Power of the Daleks, the energy was always falling out of the scene because there was nothing energetic possibly happening. And when you see some of the live action clips they still have of the original Power of the Daleks transmission, where they have a quick snippet of when Patrick Troughton, Ben, and Polly were walking, and he says, Ben, Polly, meet the Daleks. You see how much more energy all of the characters put into it, their live action versions, versus how the animation was done. With Shada, you see a distinct improvement where the animators like, we gotta try and put more activity into this, and sometimes put more expression into the eyes of the characters, which they did improve at, I will admit, very much so. And they also learned how to do things in the foreground versus the background. They lit things sometimes in a very cool way. Again, very good color additions there. They made it bright. They also, again, they had the camera's shots move. Like in Power of the Daleks, the direction was also very not good. The director of the animated Power of the Daleks did not do, I mean, no offense, director. If you guys like it, cool, but I didn't like the direction of that. Because, again, everything was just, the camera was just there. There was, like, no variation of movement. No camera, like, no idea of cameras moving the way cameras would, sorry guys, could and would organically move. Just around an actor or around a scene. Whereas in Shada, you have shots where it's like the camera moved. Very good. I was like, this is so much better. What improvement? But there are still some things that kind of make me a little worried. And number one, it's that with Shada, there was different than Power of the Daleks. Because with Shada, there was still some live action that was filmed. A nice good chunk of Shada was filmed and there was live action, so the animators had something to go off of and some standards to put on themselves. They had to reach a certain standard to be good enough to be something that people want to, buy, especially since Shada had already been released on DVD before. So the new Shada has something to compete with. There's the old Shada. So if the new Shada sucks, then people are not going to buy it when they hear about bad reviews. They'll just keep buying the old Shada, which means they had competition. They also had live action to compare it to, so they could base it off of something. With the Macra the Macra Terror, if you don't know this by now, I've got poor enunciation sometimes, but with the Macra Terror, we're back to where we are at Power of the Daleks, where there's no animation. I mean, no animation. There's no live action that's still recorded. They've got nothing to go off of. So while my instincts were like, okay, after Shada, they're clearly going to keep on, either be on the same level as they were with Shada, or they're going to get better, which I'm hoping they're going to get even better than they've gotten with Shada when it comes to the Macra Terror. Like, I'm hoping that they're learning they're learning step by step. That's what I'm hoping for. But again, it's like, wait a minute. I think they would improve. I think Macra Terror should be at least as good as Shada, but I'm not sure, because Shada, they had competition with the previous release, and they had live action to base it off of. With Macra Terror, they've got no competition of a pre-release, and they've also got nothing, no live action that was, that's still around for them to base it off of, too. They've got nothing to compare it to, nothing to build on. They're back where they were at Power of the Daleks. And I'm worried that we're going to get an animation that's more in the line of Power of the Daleks than Shada. And even with Shada, I think the animation for Shada was a great step in the right direction. It's a vast improvement. Guys, it is. Trust me, it is. But the fact is, even then, there's still room for some improvement. More room for sometimes them to get better at drawing the outline of characters and working on all of the characters' expressions and not just some. While Skagara was very well realized, there still could have been more expression in Romana, and also a better realization of her character. Layla Ward is way more lovely than the way they animated her in Shada. Whereas Polly is a very lovely, Anique Wills is a very lovely actress who plays Polly, and she was done justice to, I personally feel she was done justice to, in the Moonbase. And then you have the Invasion, where again, Zoe is a beautiful, I believe played by Wendy Bradbury, very gorgeous actress, and the animators for the Invasion did justice to her. So it's like, then I look at Romana in in Shada, as well as remembering Polly in The Power of the Daleks, and it's like, you did not nail these women. I'm not just talking about their beauty, I'm talking about their expressions and their expressiveness. Romana, played by Layla Ward, is like Anique Wills, who plays Polly. They're very expressive actresses. And same with Ben, Jamie, and of course, same would go with, when it comes to Shada, of course, Tom Baker was better animated. I admit he was better animated than Romana was, but doesn't stop the fact that while the animators got a great deal better after Power of the Daleks, they still can improve a little bit more. And that's not me bashing them. I think they did a very good job with Shada. I just think they have more room to take steps in the right direction. That's it. So that's my fear of going into the Macra Terror. I am excited for it. I'm going to buy it no matter what. Well, if they put it on DVD, I'm going to buy it. Guys, do you guys know if it's going to be released on DVD, or is it just going to be Blu-ray? Because if it's just Blu-ray, I am in big, bad trouble. I do not want to buy a Blu-ray machine. Sorry. I'm cheap that way. But again, if it is DVD, I'm so gonna buy it no matter what when it comes out, and I will be excited to watch it, even if it's not perfect, even if it's the animation of Power of the Daleks. I will still find a way to enjoy it. I'm just wishing the BBC keeps on taking steps in the right direction and cares more about the animation the way we care about it and the way we want them to care about it as well. So I know you're thinking, oh gosh, you're complaining even before it comes out. I'm just expressing my feelings. I promise that's all I'm doing. I'm just hoping. This is something I've wanted to talk about for a while, because I'm just hoping to God the animation is just keep going in the right direction and does not have a relapse and goes back to the Power of the Daleks, which is serviceable but not that great. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and are you going to buy the Macra when it comes out? Are you excited for it? Because God knows I am. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you again very soon. My cat says bye in her sleep. Bye, guys.